Hey Groovers, it's Kell Tishler. How are you? And welcome to this video, which is all about opal and what an opal is worth. I get asked this all the time. Kell, what is an opal worth? So in this video, we're going to jump right in and we're going to check out a couple of little tips that you need to know about how to value an opal and what an opal is worth once it leaves us here in Lightning Ridge. So let's get going. We've got a lot to discuss. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kell Tishler and I'm a third generation opal miner living here in Outback, New South Wales. And yeah, I love what I do and I'm quite passionate about the fact that we find these amazing gemstones which are 100 million years old. So in this video today, the question I get asked the most is what is a opal worth and how do you actually value an opal? So let's sort of jump into it right now. As we are opal miners and as we find them and we cut them and we get them ready for sale, we need to know what the price of an opal is. And sometimes that can be a bit tricky because there's certain things that needs to be taken into consideration when you price an opal. But I've got a few little tips which will help you if you need to know some of the reasons and how we actually look at pricing an opal. I have come up with a little bit of a formula, sort of tweaked it a little bit, so I like to call it the ABCDLP. So imagine the old LPs, the records, and imagine it's the same shape as an opal, so A, B, C, D, and LP. So, but A is aesthetic, what it actually looks like. Is it pretty? Is it a pretty stone? Does it have a beautiful, a beautiful hue about it? Does it have nice multiple colors? Is it pretty to look at? Because aesthetically it needs to be pleasing to the eye. So that's A. Then B is the body tone. What color is the base of it? If you're lucky enough to have potch on the bottom. But look at the stone itself and see what color tones it has. Is it a dark stone or is it a light stone? If you can see through it, it's transparent, so it's a crystal stone. But a crystal stone can still be dark, so you just need to know the body tone. Remember, the darker the stone, the higher the value. So then C is for colors. So the rare colors are your reds. So they're like at the top of the scale. But you can have beautiful colors and beautiful color combinations. So C, colors and combinations. You might have an all blue stone, you might have an all purple stone. Purple is considered less rare than a red stone because of the way it's been formed. I'm not going to go into that at the moment, but it usually goes, if you imagine the spectrum of the rainbows, so you've got the colors, so you've got purples, blues, so purple, violet, blue, green, gold, orange, red. That's the way that it usually goes. But in the colors, you can get quite an unusual combination of colors. So the reds and the blue is quite a rare combination. So that is C. So you've got colors and combination. Then you've got D. D is basically, is it dull? Like the dullness of the stone. Is it bright? And is it vibrant? Or is it dull? If it's dull and it has a bit of a hazy look to it, the value is usually on the lower end. So that's D. So you really want to know. You can tell a stone if it's dull. It just doesn't kick at you. So you need to know whether it's dull or not. Then the L. So the L is one thing that I think is really important, and that is the way the opal looks in all light. L for light. So you want to be able to look at it under an artificial light. You also want to be able to look at it in a natural light. Bright light, dark light, but in the natural light with no artificial filters. That is very important because an opal will change immensely in certain lights. The top gems, they usually stay pretty solid because they've got that really black background. But an opal needs to be also valued in the different lights. And lastly, and I think is probably one of the most important, but is P for pattern. So you get these amazing patterns with opal. Of course, the rarest is a harlequin, which is a check pattern. And then you've got beautiful Chinese writing, which is quite rare. You can get picture stones where you can actually see an image and a picture. I've seen many with sunsets and horses and lions' heads. So you can get the picture stone as well. And the pattern is very, very important. You can have a chaff pattern. You can have a galaxy pattern, which almost looks like the stars of night. You can get pinfire patterns. So there's many, many, many different patterns. But again, it does come back to the individuality of the stone. It has to be aesthetically pleasing. It has to be dark in color to be super rare. It has to be colorful with the bright colors and the beautiful combinations. It needs to be bright and brilliant. It needs to be able to move between all the different types of light, natural and unnatural. And then the pattern has to be something quite spectacular. So when you put all of these together, we then come up with a price. Sometimes it can be really tricky, and sometimes we go through quite a lot of people. We actually ask for other people's opinions because what I particularly like in a stone, you may not. And whilst this is the base and the original pricing that we do, remember the miners put the prices on to start with because we're the first ones to see it. And if you ever get stuck, I'm always here. I'm quite happy to have a look. Again, if you do send me through a stone to have a look at, please a video front and back, and I prefer a video because then I can see the play of colours. It's very difficult to value an opal stone just based on a photograph. So it needs movement, and it's the play of colour which gives it its brilliance and its amazing uniqueness, which is why it's as special as you. And lastly, the price of an opal also changes from where you buy it from. Of course, if you buy it from a miner, it will be a lot cost effective and a lot cheaper than buying it through a jeweler. But many want a finished stone, and they also want a piece of jewelry. So wherever you buy it along the chain, remember, it came from us and it came from the miners. This is the video called Opal Fever, and it has been produced by Piper Films, and I've been very privileged to be able to use this video and to show you the next step after the opal leaves the miners on its journey to become a retail stone. So I will check back with you very soon and hope you enjoy Opal Fever.
Mark Jackson was a street kid in Sydney. He came to Cooper Pedy in the Australian Outback to visit his dad 12 years ago. The day Mark arrived, he found a piece of rough opal next to an old opal mine and sold it for $280. That small stone changed his life forever.
I have to move the lights. I stay under. I don't want to go upstairs because it's too hot upstairs. You must be careful when you light the bombs. You have to be extra careful because this bomb here, if you put in the house, can blow up after a couple of seconds. You don't see the house anymore. Yanni, I got some nice stuff for you, my friend.
That looks very good color.
It is a nice color.
It's very nice opal. I can use this opal, it's no problem. And how much is that you want?
$17,000, Yanni.
17, it's a bit too much.
I come to see you, and if we don't agree, I go.
But $17,000, it's just a bit too high.
Why all the time you tell me too much? One day you don't say, Georgie, here, my friend.
Because one day I wish you come here and you say, Yanni, this is the price and I can pay this price. You always put a bit more. You want a bit more, and I try to get it a bit less so I can make some money as well.
And what is your price, Yanni?
I'll give you $14,000, Euro.
No, we're too low. No, definitely not.
It's not too low.
No, it is too low.
It's not too low. No. It's very close to the appropriate price. What's your last price anyway? Give me your last price.
All right, I go a little bit down, but your price is definitely, I can't leave it with that much.
You give me your last price and then we see.
So you give me 15 and a half. And fair.
I give you $15,000.
How long is you got?
Because it's you, you're going.
Well, you got me all the time. All right.
You know very well,
Very
I
nice.
don't.
Okay,
yeah?
it's a deal, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you. Well, I better pack this up and get moving because I'm gonna miss my plane otherwise. Hong Kong, it's been the center of a lot of Chinese buyers. They buy it here, they process it there, and China now, more than Hong Kong, because of labor costs. Believe it or not, even some of these people, they do have just a little bit of opal fever as well. They are with the opal because they like the stone, not just because it's another stone for them. But most of them, the big businesses, they do it because it's a commodity. For them, they buy the opal to process it and make money. Mr. Wong.
Oh, Yasu.
How are you?
When you come?
I came yesterday and I came here to sell you some rough opal.
Oh, cool.
And I'm
that's
here.
good. I'm looking some rough opal too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, because I make a lot of expenses to come here. You must pay a bit more.
Pay a little bit more. No.
For good
Australia-
opal.
Oh, that's nice.
Good opal, it's
Oh,
always good price.
Is this one 15 mile opal?
This is 15 mile, yes.
Oh, very nice. Oh, how
strong
many ounces
color.
this one? 20
This is
ounces?
20 ounces. The
Yes.
first parcel was 11.
11.
All together, Tony, 11
20.
and 20.
How much you put per ounce on this one? The cheaper one?
On this one, only $500 per ounce.
500.
And this one 1,000.
1,000.
So we have $21,000. $21,000 per.
Little bit tough. I think the price is okay.
How many times we do business? Do I put high price to come down, or I tell you good price all the time?
Yeah, I think you can do a little bit better, huh? Give me one best deal.
One best deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I rounded up 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah. And I pay for dinner. Doesn't matter that we don't go.
No. I can pay the. This is Hong Kong. I can pay for dinner. So maybe. You want 11,000, so 700.
Yes, but I drop it from 11 to 10.
Oh, I see.
10 and 10, 20.
I tell you what, we split the difference. Let us close the deal for 19,000.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Done. Okay. I bought this opal from George for $15,000. Tony bought it from me for $19,000. Tony will sell it to a jewelry manufacturer for $26,000. A jewelry manufacturer will sell it to a wholesaler for $32,000. A retailer will buy it for $42,000, and the retailer will sell it to the consumer for $85,000. But if you come to Kupopiti, you'll never buy opal for a better price.
Meanwhile, Yanni wants to know how Australian opal is processed in China. So Mr. Rockman, a Hong Kong businessman, has invited Yanni to visit an opal cutting factory he owns in Shenzhen.
Because I have plenty of crap opal, so we can work something out.
This field building is our factory, but it's very small.
All this?
Yeah, the free block, properly.
And you think it's very
Yeah,
small?
I think it's
Oh.
very small.
No, I think it's very good. Thank you, thank you. Wow, this is unbelievable. You said that you have a very small factory, and I think you have a very big factory. How many people do you employ here?
About 200 workers here.
About 20 people, yes. Well, it's many. I didn't count them. There look many in 3 different levels.
Mr. Rockman tells Yanni his factory processes $12 million worth of Australian opal a year, provides his workers with free lunch and pays them $2 a day for 6 10-hour days a week.
The way that these mosaics are done, it's most unbelievable. Like, there is no way in the whole world that we could do this in Australia because of labor cost. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, you see all these small pieces, to put them one by one next to each other, it's absolutely incredible. This opal here, the size of this opal, we wash it down the drain when we cut opal in Australia. Like, I don't know anybody that uses that small opal in Australia. And these people, they make a living out of it. They don't just make a living, they make money. They make money out of it because they use everything. But in general, this is dust for us that we throw it away.
So what did you think? What an interesting process that these beautiful little gems go on once they leave us here. And all the way to you guys, wherever you may be all over the world. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please, if you liked what you saw, please smash out a like. Hit the notification button. And if you would like a copy of Opal Fever, please send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So until next time, be well, and all the way from Outback, New South Wales, lots of love. See you soon.